Though I was going to do this last year, but didn't get a chance, I decided to go back and redo something like this. So now I'm finally bringing to you a video of this. So brace yourselves as I bring to you a ranking of my favorite songs from the one, the only Garth Brooks. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. Howdy, folks, and my fellow YouTubers out there. Welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D. So, I bring to you a ranking. This time I bring to you a ranking of my favorite songs by Garth Brooks. Now, I was originally supposed to do this last year to celebrate the 30th anniversary of his self-titled debut album, and then get a chance. But since this just a few months ago was the 30th anniversary of his sophomore album, No Fences. Well, bear with me, because this might not quite be one of the best rankings of the Garthster's songs, you know. I picked 30 songs, so if you are ready, prepare yourselves. Because here we go. Number 30 is Wrapped Up in You. Now, this was released as the second single from 2001's Scarecrow. This song is about a man who expresses his love for a special someone using various analogies and describing how she supports him in hard times and how his life would be if she weren't around. It may not have any drums, but does have traces of percussion though. I've heard it maybe a few times, but not a whole lot since I was mostly away from country for a little bit. But even so, I think this song's pretty good. And what can I say? There's not much to say. I'm just giving you what I think. It's a pretty good song. Number 29 is Learning to Live Again. Let's see. Released as the third single from 1992's The Chase, this song is a ballad in which the narrator, Wheeler, describes his feelings of loneliness and isolation while expressing doubt about his capability to live again, date again, and move past his mourning for his late wife. And lots of other stuff. Anyway, I've heard this a few times long ago, but never did hear this song again until I heard it about maybe a couple times earlier this year on a new classic country station that's on in my area. So it's still good. Hasn't really boosted up a bit, but I still like this song for what it is, though. Number 28 is The Red Strokes, released as the final single from 1994's, or no wait, 93's In Pieces. I forgot that it was 93, so my mistake, everyone. Yeah, this was released as the final single from 1993's In Pieces, though the song was unfortunately not much a success in the US, as the song failed to climb higher than number 49, and it barely made it into the top 40 of the Canadian country charts. The song was, however, big overseas, as it was a top 20 hit in the UK, a top 10 in Ireland, a top 40 hit in the Euro chart Hot 100, and a top 40 hit in New Zealand. Anyway, well, the video's hard to explain. Well, I mean, the song's hard to explain, though. Anyway, its video, however, was very popular, and I remember watching it a lot. That's what convinced me to get back to listen to him after all this time. Anyway, it won an ACM award as regarded as one of the most memorable in country music history. So anyway, I absolutely love this. Now, to my surprise, I learned this song is amazing, and it also has amazing background vocals by not his future wife Trisha Yearwood, but a gal named Helen Darling, who later the same year this song came out, she released her one and only album, a self-titled debut album on the Decca label, which if you've not heard, I'd say if they're on YouTube, I'd recommend you check out. Try and find the one single from them, Jenny Come Back. That's a good song. But the Red Strokes, this has become a guilty pleasure of mine. I do love it. Number 27 is To Make You Feel My Love. Now, this song was released from the soundtrack to the movie Hope Floats. Yes. And there was also a cover version done by Trisha Yearwood as well on the soundtrack. And it was included first as a bonus track on Garth's recent album, Fresh Horses, before he even released his album Sevens. Anyway, now the song was originally done by Bob Dylan, which came out, well, actually, a year before this from his album Time Out of Mind. Now, it was first released commercially by Billy Joel. Now, of course, when Bob released it, it was just Make You Feel My Love. But when Billy did this, he did it as To Make You Feel My Love. Now, Joel actually did write Garth's big hit Shameless, which we'll see where that song winds up. But To Make You Feel My Love, it's pretty good in ways. And I thought it was pretty good. Actually, many others have performed this, including Kelly Clarkson and even Adele. So, I think To Make You Feel My Love, it's a pretty good song. Number 26 is We Shall Be Free. Released as the first single from The Chase, this was kind of one of Garth's, probably one of his most controversial songs in a way. While the song unfortunately missed the top 10, this become controversial, becoming Garth's first single not to reach the top 10 on the Billboard Hot Country Singles and Tracks, only managing to climb higher than number 12. But I think it made the top 10 in radio and records, however. It also became a top 30 hit on the Christian Songs chart, thanks with the help of a marketing deal with Rick Hendricks Company. Anyway, that was pretty good. It was about an ordinary man who imagines a world where human beings are free from earthly oppressions. Well, all sorts of things that were mentioned, including world hunger, freedom of speech, homelessness, etc. He actually went on to do this song on Muppets Tonight with the Muppets, as a matter of fact, a few years later in '96. Yeah, I think We Shall Be Free is pretty good. And I think it's pretty good. I think it's hard for me to do these numbers, so number 25 is Good Ride Cowboy. Let me see now. Released as the first single from 2005's The Lost Sessions. Well, this song is a tribute to Garth's good friend and label mate when he was at Capitol Records and later Liberty Records, Chris Ledoux, who of course he appeared on his song What You Gonna Do With a Cowboy. And of course, Ledoux was a champion rodeo bareback rider and also a country musician. The song became a top 5 hit, reaching number 3. Now, after Garth briefly emerged from retirement in late 2005 to record this, shortly after the death of Mr. Ledoux. Well, he first performed the song at the CMA Awards. Let's see, yeah. while the CMA Chairman's Award of Merit was presented in Ledoux's honor. Yeah, it's not too bad. I rarely get to hear this song, but it's still pretty good and upbeat. Number 24 is She's Every Woman. Released as the first single from 1995's Fresh Horses, this song, of course, was a tune that Garth co-wrote with Victoria Shaw, who also co-wrote The River, which we'll see where that winds up. Of course, Shaw also wrote John Michael Montgomery's I Love the Way You Love Me, plus lots of other songs. Anyway, this was a surprise hit. It debuted pretty kind of low, but it sprang big time in Billboard. And it even debuted in the top 10 in Radio and Records. Which that's incredible, my friends. Nevertheless, it proved to be another big success for the Garthster. I gotta say, I still could hear it. Don't usually take the time to hear it, but nevertheless, I like it for reasons. For certain reasons, you know. Number 23 is Somewhere Other Than the Night. Released as the second single from The Chase. Well, despite the previous single, We Shall Be Free, failed to make into the top 10, Garth redeemed himself by reaching, and apparently it's another powerful ballad, and I think it's really good. Now, I rarely do get to hear this song, but after hearing that new classic country station got, it brought back all the memories. I gotta say, this is another one of Garth's big hit ballads. And I think it's good. Number 22 is Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old. The song that put Garth on the map. Of course, this was the first single out of his self-titled debut from 1989. The song did fairly well, reaching number 8 because this was just his first hit. Now, the song's about a rodeo cowboy who has been competing for years and just doesn't have the strength to keep at it anymore, with the stress of being away from home, all the while watching a younger crowd take over the business. Yeah, don't bear with me. I'm trying to find some info on some of these songs, so bear with me if I can't find much info. But anyway, this song is a good one, and this really did, well, pretty well. Like I said, it reached the top 10, so it was just his first time. Garth did pretty well with it. Number 21 is Not Counting You. Released as the third single from Garth's self-titled debut album. While despite the song missed the top of the chart in the US, it however went to number 1 in Canada. Now, of course, the song's narrator tells his ex-lover that not counting her, no woman has ever made him so blue, nor made him feel bad in any way. The song's pretty up-tempo and is accompanied largely by fiddles. Yeah, I get to hear this song a little bit more, since I rarely hear this song this much, but I will say, Not Counting You, it's not bad. But at least I do get to hear it more than what I used to, you know. Now I can do my drawing of the next number. Number 20 is Long Neck Bottle. Released as the first single from 1997's Sevens. Well, actually, it was 1998 when it came out, not 97, so my mistake. Anyway, this song is an upbeat Western swing shuffle, and it features vocal harmony and playing lead guitar on the track. Steve Wariner, of course, most of y'all know him best from the song "Holes in the Floor of Heaven." So he does a pretty good job on the backing vocals on this. Anyway, yeah, it's not too bad, but I think it's really a lot of fun. Yes. Anyway, Long Neck Mall, I think it's a pretty fun song. But anyway, that's just got so much upbeat fun in the sound and what have you. I really do like it. Okay. Number 19 is The Beaches of Cheyenne. Released as the third single from Fresh Horses. Now, this song, well, describes a woman who just went crazy after her husband decides to participate in a rodeo against her wishes and is killed during the bull riding event after he drew a bull no man could ride. And so the grieving woman, distraught, that her last words to her husband were, "I don't give a damn if you ever come back from Cheyenne," ran out into the ocean. And well, you know the story. Anyway, I will say this is a very good song. I know it gets played still, but I sometimes do refrain from hearing some of those Garth songs. Only if it's ones that I like to have a lot more fun with. But hey, The Beaches of Cheyenne, I got to listen to that a lot since I had the Fresh Horses album. I still do have it. But it's not a bad song, though. I really like it. So, number 18 is Papa Loved Mama. Released as the fourth single from 1991's Rope in the Wind, this song was a top 5 hit and went to number 3. Now, of course, this song is about, well, a trucker's son reflecting on a tragic incident he has experienced as a child. His father worked as a truck driver, and his time away drove his mother to commit adultery. Though his father would call constantly, the lyrics indicate she needed more told than just a telephone. Yeah. Apparently, one night, the father came on unexpectedly with roses and wine, went upstairs for the mother, was not at home, but the children soon heard a ball break against the wall, and the father drove his truck directly into the local motel room where his wife was with another man. Yep. The incident was covered in the paper the next day, and as the last of the chorus goes, Mama's in the graveyard, Papa's in the pen. Yep. A real catchy tune, I have to say. Papa Loved Mama. Very good song. Number 17 is Standing Outside the Fire. Released as the third single from In Pieces, this song was pretty good. It reached the top 5, reaching number 3 in Billboard. And I think this was a chart topper in Rayon Records, but I may be wrong though. Anyway, it is known to be a song of inspiration. One noble line in the chorus reads, "Life is not tried, it is merely survived if you're standing outside the fire." Yeah, I still remember hearing this song a lot, and I remember the video too, which is totally really cool. Yeah, not bad of a song, Standing Outside the Fire is. Number 16 is Calling Baton Rouge, also from In Pieces. Now, this was released as the next to last single from it, the 5th single, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look. Yep. Yep, that certainly was. Now, though the song was originally recorded by the Oak Ridge Boys in 1978, and then later recorded by the group The Newgrass Revival, Garth eventually made this big. The song unfortunately reached number 2 on the chart, losing to another Brooks, Kix Brooks, that is. He and Ronnie Dunn's so she's not the cheating kind. But nevertheless, Calling Baton Rouge was one of my favorites as well. Yeah. According to the booklet liner notes from his first greatest hits album, The Hits, which I have, Garth says he's always been a fan of Baton Rouge. He's always has, still is, and always will be a fan of the members of Newgrass Revival. Yeah, that's pretty sure where he heard from. So, but anyway, while despite losing to B&D, the song, however, went to #1 in Canada. Now, of course, it's an up-tempo song with a bluegrass sound, and the male narrator, presumably a truck driver, is attempting to make contact with a female who in the lyrics is such a strange combination of a woman and a child named Samantha, whom he met the night before in Baton Rouge. Yeah, definitely good song. I love it. I still get to hear it to this day. Number 15 is What She's Doing Now. Released as the third single from Rope in the Wind, this song's definitely a pretty good tune. This song went to #1 Billboard and stayed there for a month, 4 weeks. The song is about a man who wonders what his former lover is currently doing and what her whereabouts are. Of course, in the song, if you've heard it, last I heard, she had moved to Boulder. While the singer has no idea what she is doing now, he proclaims what she's doing now is tearing him apart. Yep. Another one of my favorite Garth ballads of all time. I really do love this song. It's one of my main favorites. Number 14 is Two Pina Coladas. Released as the third single from Sevens. Excuse me, everyone. Sorry, I'm getting carried away of talking. But anyway, this song went to #1, and this song is very fun to hear and what have you. Now, Sean Camp, who wrote the song, provides an additional acoustic guitar on this little tune. It's about a man feeling the blues, most likely a love problem. Turns on the news when a person comes on claiming that heartaches are healed by the sea. Without a moment's notice, he heads down to the beach, eager for a night on the town. After two pina coladas, the man begins to feel elated, and at this point never wants to leave. The chorus also suggests that he continues drinking, specifically drinking Captain Morgan, until he forgets his troubles and is happy. I gotta say, that is a very fun song to Pina Coladas is. I absolutely do love it. Number 13 is More Than a Memory. Released as the first single from the Ultimate Hits compilation in 2007, this song unexpectedly became a monster hit. The song debuted at #1 on the Billboard Hot Country Songs chart. Yeah. It became Garth's first #1 in almost a decade since To Make You Feel My Love. Of course, this would be, the highest a man would ever debut. He surpassing Alan Jackson and Kenny Chesney. Now, 7 years later after this, Craig Wayne Boyd's My Baby's Got a Smile on Her Face repeated their process. Anyway, the song's about about a man who describes his attempts to forget about a lover who has left him by destroying anything that reminds him of her and drinking heavily. Despite his attempts to forget her, he still finds himself attempting to call her on the phone and tries to stay awake so as not to dream of her. He states that since he still thinks of her, she is more than a memory, even though he has been told by others that he will forget about her. Definitely another good power ballad of Garth's. I love it. Number 12 is Two of a Kind working on a Full House. Let's see now. Hang on a sec. Yeah, released as the third single from 1990's No Fences, this song was a really big hit. Now, it was actually originally recorded by one of the songwriters of the tune, Dennis Robbins, in 1987. Which the B-side to that single of Robbins' cover was The Church on Cumberland Road, which of course was later a number one for the band Shenandoah. Anyway, the song's lyrics describe the relationship between the narrator and his wife, whom he considers a perfect complement. And the title is a double entendre using poker hands to describe how well the couple complements each other, and that they plan to have children. I will say this is definitely another good song by the Gardster. It's definitely a very good one, as a matter of fact. Number 11 is Unanswered Prayers, also from No Fences. This was released as the second single. Now, bear with me, please don't get me. I'm sure a lot of y'all may have this in your top 10. Anyway, a man runs into his high school sweetheart at a football game in their hometown. As he introduces her to his wife, he reminisces about the past relationship and how he had once prayed so fervently that this girl would be his significant other forever. Well, and so you know the rest. The course advises the listener that if God is not answering his or her prayers, that just because he doesn't answer doesn't mean he don't care. And that unanswered prayers are some of God's greatest gifts. I absolutely do agree. Anyway, the song became one of Garth's most popular recordings. It's one of the tracks that helped No Fences stay on top of the charts for many months. The album spent 30 big weeks. That's over half a year at number one on Billboard's country charts. Yeah. But it's not too bad of a song. I do think it's a good song. Don't get to hear it a whole lot, but it still gets played though. Now for the top 10. Number 10 is That Summer. Released as the final single, fourth one, from The Chase. This is absolutely one of my favorites. Now, the song's about a teenage boy far from home who goes to work for a lonely widowed woman hell-bent to make it on her own. The woman apparently lives on a wheat farm, wheat fields as far as I could see, as that's the song goes. The apparently much older woman slowly takes a liking to the young boy to the point where one night she dons a dress she hadn't worn in quite a while, as the song says. It is then applied by the rest of the second verse that the teenage boy loses his virginity. And the third verse takes the now adult man back to the scene of his coming of age, having not seen the woman since long ago. Although the man has been with several other women at this point, he still experiences flashbacks to his experience with the older woman. Yeah, this is definitely a great song. I absolutely love it. It's one of my absolute favorites because I've loved this for a long time. Number 9 is If Tomorrow Never Comes. Released as the second single from Garth's self-titled debut, this of course would be his signature song and also his first number 1. Now then, of course, it's the first country love song released by Garth. A man lies awake at night thinking what would happen in his love's mind if he were to die the next day. The first line in the chorus reads, If tomorrow never comes, will she know how much I love her? Yes. He goes on to compare this situation with his own lost loved ones and how he made a promise to say each day how much she means to him. Yeah, I will say it's pretty good. Now, This song is about the love of a father to his daughter, not to his lover. Garth said that on stage at Belmont University to Britt Todd, and in his music video, he has his daughter playing next to him while he sings. So anyway, this is definitely a very good song, and I really do love it. Number 8 is the American Honky Tonk Bar Association. Released as the second single from In Pieces, this, of course, is really a cool tune. Yeah, I will say that this is just so cool. It's, of course, an up-tempo honky-tonk anthem that compares bars to fraternal organizations or support groups for blue-collar people. Of course, the song's title name is a pun on the name American Bar Association. I just gotta say, the song's lyrics are absolutely good, and I absolutely think it's awesome, and it really rocks with the best, too. Number 7 is Ain't Going Down Till the Sun Comes Up, also from In Pieces. Now, this was released as the first single from the album. Yeah. Now, this song is so cool, and this also rocks with the best because I like the sound and it's so cool. It's about a girl heads out for a Friday evening date at 6 in the evening. Her mother tells her to be back in bed before the dawn. After the teenagers see a show and get a bite to eat, they head out for some late night dancing. Eventually, they spend the night there and head out to her house at 4 a.m. The girl does not get home in time and is grounded and punished with chores, but sneaks out again the next evening at the same time. But I'm gonna say this song is just so cool. It really is a rockin' one. Number 6 is The River. Released as the final single from Rope in the Wind. This was the 5th single. This tune was written by Garth and Victoria Shaw, who I mentioned earlier, who later co-wrote She's Every Woman with Garth. And it's a mid-tempo country pop ballad in which a river is used as an analogy for the pursuit of one's dreams. Though the through the lyrics, the narrator says that he will continue to pursue his dreams. Now, I will say this is definitely an amazing song. I really love it. And, well, I can't say. This just did pretty well for Garth. Just so epic, and, well, you know the rest. If you've heard this song, but I'm sure you have. It's pretty good. Number 5, it's The Thunder Rolls. Released as the final single from No Fences, of course, the 4th and final one. This song eventually became a big success. Now, of course, the first verse talks about a man driving home in torrential rain from somewhere that he never should have been, as the song goes. In the second verse, his wife is waiting at home for his return, praying it's the weather that's kept him out all night. When he does return in the third verse, the woman rushes out to meet him, only to smell perfume on him, implying that he was with another woman. At this point in time, the lyrics, the thunder rolls, no longer refers to literal lightning and thunder surrounding the pair, but the anger in her heart, which is mentioned in the chorus. Now, the original version did have a 4th verse, but unfortunately, it never got included. However, Garth did go ahead and do that on the live version from his double live album. Now, of course, the tune was originally pitched to Tanya Tucker, who, of course, was label mates with Garth at the time. But she liked it, but the producers suggested a third verse, which they had. But well, apparently, Tanya turned it down, and Garth got it. I've also heard one of the cover versions by the rock and roll, or should I say heavy metal band, All That Remains. It's good, not quite as good as the Gardsters. No sir. The Thunder Rolls, definitely a good song. It became a big hit, and it even spent 3 weeks at #1 in radio records, a rare achievement, which George Strait would repeat that process a few years later with his tune Check Yes or No. Number 4 is Shameless. Released as the second single from Rope in the Wind, this song is easily one of my favorites. Now, the tune was originally, written and performed by Billy Joel and was featured on his 1989 album Stormfront. Now, although the song only did so well on the adult contemporary charts but nowhere else, Garth released his version 2 years later. And apparently, this was just so much of a good tune. Let me see. Yeah. Well, that's not much to say, but I absolutely do love this song. It's just so good. There's so much to say about Shameless. It became a big hit for him, though. And of course, one of the main songs that featured his future wife, Trisha Yearwood, whom that same year released her self-titled debut album on MCA, which of course included her first #1, which was She's in Love with the Boy. But anyway, Shameless, very good song. I do love it. Number 3 is The Dance. Released as the final single from Garth's self-titled debut album. Of course, it was the 4th single. This is easily another good power ballad and what have you. Anyway, now at the opening of the music video for this, Garth explains that the song is written with a double meaning, both as a love song about the end of a passionate relationship and a story of someone dying because of something he's believed in after a moment of glory. Yeah, I really think The Dance is definitely a very special song. And what can I say? I love it. It's just so amazing, and you can't go wrong with that. Now for the final two. This is probably going to be controversial, so please don't shoot me, okay, for the final two, okay? Number 2 is Friends in Low Places. Released as the first single from No Fences, this song I think probably topped y'all's rankings, but, well, you be the judge, okay? I'm sorry this is my second favorite, so bear with me. This song is so much fun. Mm-hmm. Yep. It's just so much fun and what have you. Mm-hmm. Anyway, it was it was just sounds so much fun. I think I like how the song's lyrics go, and well, slipping on down to the Oasis. Yeah, you all know how it goes. Now, actually, Garth actually did a actual third verse. Now, the song originally only had 2 verses. Garth does add a third verse, which he only does for live performances. Anyway, his spiel leading to the new verse claimed that he thought the song's original verse didn't reflect how he would really act in that situation, so it is basically a rewrite of the second verse, with only the last few lines changed, which, you probably know the story, okay? But anyway, Friends in Low Places. A very good song, and it's really darn catchy too. What can I say? I love the song and what have you. It's just so good. Number one is Rodeo. Released as the first single from Rope in the Wind, this song may have reached number three in the US, but went to number one in Canada. But I think it also went to number one in Radio Records, but I've been wrong before. Anyway, let's see. Well, this song's just so good. I heard it on the radio just today, and believe me, this has become one of my absolute favorite Garth songs of all time. I just love it. I love how it really starts out with that dun 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 dun. I love it. Anyway, according to Brooks' information from the hit, if one looks down the list of music's greatest writers of all time, I couldn't imagine the list being complete without the name Larry Bastian. That's the guy who wrote the song. Song Rodeo was originally titled Miss Rodeo. It was a female song where the artist sang about how she could not compete with the sport of rodeo. Tried to get every female he knew in the music industry to cut this. When the last told me she didn't hear it, I began to wonder if that meant I was supposed to do something with it. The song was recorded in 1981 as a demo, and for 10 years it sat silent. And when they got a hold of it and the band's version of it just stunned me, this song has always been a favorite live, and I hope as long as I get to play it live, Garth says, this will always be on the list. Yeah. Yeah, I really love this song. It's just so awesome. The lyrics are awesome. I just don't know what to tell you. Rodeo is just one of my absolute favorite Garth songs. I've loved this since the day I first heard it on the Rope in the Wind album, which I've had since my 12th birthday. Okay, that about covers it, finally. Okay, that's it for my 30 favorite songs of Garth Brooks. So, what do you think of this ranking? What's your favorite Garth Brooks song? You can make your own list if you'd like. You make it 30, you can make it 20, you can make it 10. It's up to you. I'd like to know what's your favorite. If you can't make a list, just give me your top favorite song of all time of the Garthsters. Please tell me in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button below. Subscribe to my channel as well and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me again next time when I get back to my reviews and what have you, when I review Paddington 2. So, my hat's off to y'all for watching this all the way through. Excuse me. Anyway, thank you for watching, and if you like this, check out these, vids I had done, I believe, last year, I believe. I may be wrong, but anyway, or earlier this year, but I forget. But anyway, if you like, check my favorite male country stars ranking in the upper left-hand corner, favorite female artists in the upper right-hand corner, and favorite groups in the bottom left-hand corner. In the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.